Hey, welcome to the Mind Hacking Happiness Podcast. I am Sean Webb. Today is day 25 of our 45-day Mind Mastery 101 course from Mind Hacking Happiness. Usually $1,000. No one ever asked for their money back for this course, by the way, and now it's $0. Aren't you lucky? But only for a limited time. So if you want forever access, go to mindhackinghappiness.com, sign up for the course there. Otherwise, here is day 25. Hey, welcome to day 25. It is Casual Friday for me. I don't know what day it is for you, but I'm wearing my Cubs gear. Boop. Hope things are well for you. Welcome to day 25 of the 45-day Mind Mastery 101 for Mind Hacking Happiness. Let's get right into it, because today we're talking about becoming fearless. Now, yesterday we talked about watching your fear, or a couple of days ago we talked about watching your fear, and yesterday we talked about identifying your fears that could arise associated with the things on your self map that you may not necessarily be able to remove or move out from the center of your self map. Well, it works like this. Understanding your fear gives you better control of it. Seeing your future fears gives you better preparation for your fears. Your meta-awareness of fear gives you a calmer mind, and over time, this becomes more automatic and more plastic, and automatically happens without much effort associated with it. So your fears kind of subside to a large degree over time because you see them in real time as they're starting to be processed from your mind, which you know now is not you. Because of the separation, you can't see your mind unless you're something other than your mind. And then as your mind starts to create fear for you, you know that it's not real, it's not you, it doesn't have to affect you. And now you're moving into the realm of being fearless, or more fearless at the very least. Plasticity changes the brain. Fact. The more you do something, the easier it is to do without thinking about it. If you practice basketball, if you practice crossword puzzles, you practice piano, you think and think less about it. Like, I've been playing keyboards, piano, organ since I was 7 years old. And there comes a state where I can know a song so well that I can sit there and listen, and I'm not actively playing. My body, my subconscious has taken control and is playing the song for me. And I am listening to the performance itself. I'm not actively engaging in what's going on because the plasticity has taken over in my brain. The process has been driven down deep enough to where now it's just flowing out of me, and the music is simply happening, and I am there enjoying it. Same thing can occur with processing emotions, with a compulsion to choice shift, where you used to be controlled by your mind, but now you are in control of your mind. Now you have a choice of what emotions to let process fully, because you are seeing them at such a granularity and such a speed from a subconscious level before it even becomes conscious to you, that your fear is dissolved before it can ever come to fruition. And you get a little note about it. You get a little memo. Oh, yeah, it was going to be a fear thing, but, we took care of it, right? There's a hint of it. There's a shadow of it. There's an echo of it, but it doesn't affect your life the way it was. And this is becoming fearless. And it's an awesome place to be, by the way. Okay, so again, how your fear works. Fear arises when the mind believes a threat to self is present, and we understand the individual self items that can create instances of fear now, with the new definition of self that you're being introduced to before everyone else is through this course, which is kind of cool. Soon all of psychology will use the same model. Mark my words. So we took time to reflect on your fears, right, yesterday, by looking at each and every one of your individual self items. And we identified that the power level of where those things on your self map land depends or basically contributes to the severity level of the fear that you're going to experience based on where it is on your self map. If it's right near the center, it's going to be a higher level fear potential, depending on your perception and how much of a threat it is. Versus if it's way out on the edge, like it's the garden gnome of your lawn, and you don't really give a shit about it, the fear level is going to be low for that 4x4 careening off the road and going to plow your garden gnome. You don't care. You'll get a new one. No big deal, right? So now we understand where we place things consciously on our self map, and whether or not we decide to take things out of the center and move them to the edge, or take them and just move them off entirely. Now we can reduce our fears associated with that individual thing on our self map. Okay. The basics of separation: when you're looking at your fear, you are separated from your fear. You're putting a distance in between you and the thing of which you are observing. Otherwise, you cannot observe it. There will be moments where fear overtakes you and you are right in the middle of it and you're like, I can't see it. I'm just controlled by it, awash by it, influenced by it. It is taking control of me, right? There will be moments in the future that happens. Don't hold yourself to such a high standard that you're going to be fearless tomorrow. It's a practice thing. You got to get like 10,000 hours in, according to Malcolm Gladwell, to become a master at anything, right? But most of the time, you are going to be able to see your fear, and you are going to be able to put that small distance between you and your fear, and that's becoming fearless. Ain't that awesome? Yeah, it is. Reducing fear over time: practicing the separation from your fear creates a plastic effect, which makes separation from your fear more automatic over time, and that equates to fearlessness. And that is awesome to experience. And you will get there if you practice, period. Science says the brain is plastic. If you practice things of which you are not a master, over time you'll become a master of those things with practice. Just like, and that happens when you're practicing disciplines of mind. You get better at them. Ain't that cool? Yes, it is. Reducing fear over time reduces your limbic system's activity and keeps your thinking brain turned on. Now, the cool thing about plasticity is there is another side of it, which is atrophy. As you turn your limbic system down more and more often, the connections that fire together wire together, right? But the connections, there's only so much energy that your brain consumes at any one point. And so the pathways that are used more often become stronger, and the pathways that are used less often become weaker. And that's the magic of plasticity. When you turn your limbic system off more and more, your limbic system quits being so reactive over time. And they've seen this in hundreds of studies across all kinds of contemplative disciplines of journaling and meditation and contemplative prayer and yada, yada, yada. The reactivity of the limbic system. In fact, Mathieu Ricard, the French Buddhist monk, does not have, or did not have at one point, a startle reflex. They put a loud noise in his ear, and he didn't jump because of the low reactivity of his limbic system. I think I kind of have almost the same thing. They measured me at Johns Hopkins in an fMRI. Anyway, I don't want to take the spotlight off of Mathieu Ricard. He doesn't have a startle reflex. That's how good you can get at this over years of practice of meditation, etc. But if you use this stuff that I'm teaching you as well, same thing. I'm just teaching you a different way into meta-awareness. He used a lifetime of meditation. You're going to use a lifetime of cognitive understanding of your brain's processes, your mind's processes, to be able to see them at a granular level, which then separates you from them, turning them off. This is brand new stuff. But it's the same as years of meditation. So take advantage of it. This increases your EQ, your emotions quotient, which, by the way, Harvard Business Review calls emotional intelligence the essential ingredient to success. And the most recent study out about emotional intelligence says that 94% of emotionally intelligent people are more successful than their non-EI counterparts. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is one of the highest percentage points of any study. That's up near where Gottman is in I can predict your divorce to a 95% rate by listening to your conversation for an hour. He's world famous. This last thing that just came out about emotional intelligence says emotionally intelligent people succeed 94 of them, 94% out of 100, succeed over their non-emotional intelligence counterparts. No arguing that. So exercising this is going to increase your emotional intelligence. So that's awesome. And you put fear on the leash rather than being on the leash of your fear. And over time, that creates lasting effects. And if you like the little graphic there on the right, I can be hired to create really cool graphics like that one, because I did that one. Reducing fear over time makes you Superman or Supergirl, Superwoman, super mix between the two. I don't care, whatever. Homework, meditation, 2 times. Because we're officially kind of on the Friday, we're going to take a break for a couple of days, give you some time to chew on this fear thing. I want you to meditate 20 minutes per day, each day for the next couple of days before we get to day 26, which will show up in your inbox in the next couple of days. I hope this message finds you well. Let's all move toward fearlessness, because that is going to be required to rebuild our world into the future, is tackling the difficult problems without fear. And it's going to also help improve your life individually, running through your limitations of fear that have stopped you from being as amazing as you are. So let's work on being fearless. Talk to you in a couple of days.